Hello guys, welcome to Banter Blitz. So it looks like the server is down for several minutes. Hope it's fine now. Let's see how that is going to work. Just as usual, we're going to play several games, commenting everything what is going on the board, and also analyzing the bits after each and every game. I hope you're doing well. Let's see if we have somebody I've never ever played before. There should be some people, I believe. All right, there is one game. I can start with 3 minutes. Let's see. Stream it's fine, Andrey says prom night. Okay. For now, at least everything is more or less okay. So we can even make moves, which is a good sign. Several minutes ago, I had some problems with loading the main page. So for now, my opponent is playing quite good. Chess. Of course, it's just the beginning. Queen to a4. That's interesting. Don't we have some sort of hybrid here? I mean, I've seen this line after g3, bishop a6, queen to a4, but after a3, queen to a4, I don't know. Let's see. Not sure that it's a good square for queen, honestly. All right, this way. Simply preparing e4, right? It looks logical. We can play queen c8, we can play bishop b7 back. I like this move, to be honest. Just controlling d5 square and e4. And maybe intending just to grab the knight and then take on d4, for example. Can be valid idea. If white plays d5 now, I just grab on d5. And I'm fine. Alright, white decided to play bishop g5. Things are getting quite interesting in my opinion. So I'm going to grab that pawn just to see if that is a valid option for black. I'm just experimenting because I'm playing this, in tournament chess. The other thing that I'm not playing tournament chess that often nowadays, but still, that's my main choice against d4. Queen's Indian or into Indian defense. I'm just wondering if something like that may work for black. Well, right now I don't see a big problem. So what I can see on the board is just extra pawn for black. I don't think white is so better developed than me. Which means who knows, maybe white doesn't have sufficient compensation for missing material here. The situation on the clock is also quite good. So I'm like a 1 minute better than my opponent, which is very important for a 3-minute game, I believe. I'm ready to castle right now. Of course, if white captures on f6 with the bishop, I thought in that case I would have captured with the pawn, avoiding knight to d6 check. Now, of course, I will grab this one. And yeah, we have a superior position here. I mean, just castle. Now, indeed, we have extra pawn for nothing here. Let's just focus on the queen side. All right. We can play a6, b5. What is the other way to attack here? Maybe just rook b8 first. The question, Andrey, do you have home office now? Yes, absolutely. And you can hear my kids are still awake on the background, making some noise. All right, let's play this way. I thought I would play queen f6, but then f5, and I'm not sure. Here it's still f5, but now d4 is protected, so we can start attacking something in the opponent's camp. Well, let's just go away with the queen to avoid f6 with the tempo. Let's just attack e4, the queen, and the pawn on c4, which should force white to take on c6, I guess. Now we recapture with the rook. c4 is under attack. b3 is not possible. Yeah, so it's lost for white. Should be at least 2 extra pawns now. Still don't see compensation. I can take it, right? I can take it. Yeah. Then knight goes to e3 and so on. So I believe white's, well, sort of inaccuracy was to give him a chance to take on d4. That's the first thing. But after this move, I guess bishop takes f6 was something really important to do. Not allowing me to take on e4, simplifying everything and get in position with extra material and no compensation for white. Because here, I guess, if I take with the bishop, there is knight to d6. There is another question if it is really so dangerous for me. I can do something like king e7 probably, and even with such a king on e7, not that bad, right? So I can just play rook e8 after knight goes away somewhere, because I believe knight should go somewhere. Now rook e8, king f8, king g8, if I need it, I mean. But it is at least something. And if I take, for example, with the pawn, something that I wanted to do actually, then at least the pawn structure is not so bad, not so good for black, right? So some sort of compensation here for white, right? So I believe that was the way to go. All right, let us continue. Let's have a look if we have another challenge coming from someone. Yeah, here is Jonas Hilverda. Wow, we haven't played before, so yeah, I'll accept it. That's very dangerous, I guess. I'm playing with black pieces. 3 minutes. My opponent looks very young, at least on the profile picture. Maybe he is in reality, I don't know. If it is the case, then probably I'm playing against a very talented guy who is a FIDE master. Let's see. I guess a6 is possible to play here. Okay, so everything is according to some sort of theory, right? Very annoying stuff for black. Okay, so now we can take here, all right? I hope I'm not blundering. Yeah. But white is slightly better because of pair of bishops, I guess. So 95, all right, let's take there. Now, should I take on e5 or should I just start with the b5 move? I guess b5 first. Because d7 is controlled. I don't care. So what I want to do is to grab a bit more space on the queen side, just to control more. And yeah, maybe at some point I will start the minority attack. For now, though, it's far away from there. Let's just keep on mobilizing pieces here. Let's see. I think black is not that bad in this position. There may be some tricks. Yeah, bishop g5, for example. That's why I captured with the rook to avoid bishop g5, then damaging my pawn structure. It's still possible to damage my pawn structure, no questions, but well, at very least I have some sort of, you know, good coordination between my rooks. Not very active chat tonight, it seems, says Prom9. That's correct. Not so many people are online, I guess, and the vast majority came here a bit earlier to see Magnus Carlsen doing his usual stuff, just crushing his opponents. And that was just enough for today, I think, for people. Crazy times, crazy stuff happening. Okay, I believe there will be an exchange. Okay. So now what? B4 comes to mind, but rook controls that rank, so maybe we should start with rook to c4, trying to exchange one pair of rooks. Let's see. This rook is quite active. What I want to get here is the position with only my rook active and opponent's one. Not that great. But if I play something like b4 now, then king e2, and if I take on c3, rook takes c3, it starts looking like I'm just helping my opponent to achieve what he wants. So let's just grab some additional space here, bring my king closer to the center, and see how that works. Aha, this way. Okay. Maybe interesting, maybe not that interesting. I don't know. What if I just take, excuse me, and bring my king closer? 51 seconds, so I have to play faster now. I think it should be balanced, obviously. Yeah, it should be just equal position, more or less. But let's see, maybe we have some tiny chances here, I don't know. Just grab there, then bring the king closer to something, I don't know, to what exactly. Please control in some space here. It's hard to attack something, anything actually, in opponent's camp. So what we can do here is to bring our king over, maybe then to e2 to f2 to e3, some sort of display. Okay, I think this is useful. Just to bring opponent's king, some sort of shitty position. Now king e2. Here comes e4. Didn't see that one. Yeah, it's just equal position. But we have some tricks here, I think. I should have captured another one. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Only 3 seconds, right? Yeah, I lost on time, but as you can see, I just completely outplayed my opponent at the end. But yeah, we're super slow. And that was the reason I lost. But White actually misplayed it completely. At some point, I believe that after a check on d6, king to e2 should have been played. Yeah, somewhere here. Yeah, here just king e2 and position is absolutely equal. I suppose. Maybe I'm slightly better. I wanted to play something like b4. And yeah, I wanted to try rook c6, a5, king d6, king c5, and so on. Okay, nevertheless, thanks for the game. Let's have a look. Do we have somebody else I've never ever played before? And everyone is actually challenging me with 3-minute games, but okay. So guys, I prefer 5 minutes, but it's your choice, of course. So we have Nimzo Indian now. And Leningrad system. All right, if I'm not mistaken, c5 is the right move here. And d takes c5. That's interesting. Never seen this before. So what about queen a5? No, queen a5 is stupid. What is the right move here? So I'm more used to d5, grabbing space. D takes c5. What the hell? So let's start with knight to c6, controlling d4 square. Didn't want to play queen a5 because of bishop f6 takes and then queen to d4. Now it's okay to bring the queen there. All right. Rook to c1. Knight to e4 now. All right. I hope I'm not blundering something. Looks like a good move. Attacking the knight on c3 and targeting the bishop there. And now we can do what? We can just take the bishop. We don't actually achieve anything here. Just a nice thing to do, to try, I would say. So knight is coming to e4 potentially. Again, it's not very dangerous since we control d6 with the bishop and with the queen. So if knight goes to e4, then just queen e5 or something like that. Yeah, let's just castle. Pretty much forced. Now what? Our bishop should be somehow developed, but knight is coming to e4. I don't like it. Let's just play f5, controlling that square, preventing white from occupying that active square with the knight. Bishop e2, okay, b6, intending bishop to b7, or maybe bishop to a6, I don't know. Alright, let's just go away, attacking the rook. It's a tempo move. We can play on dark squares here as well, so we can play f4 at some point. Maybe just right now, why not? Let's try it. Grabbing a bit more space. If e4, I'll be happy because I will get the access to d4 square. White is smart enough to avoid it. But now we can still take, and d4 is ours. It's a good square. Where to go now? To f5, g5, or f6, or f4 maybe. Maybe f4. To avoid the attack from opponent's knight. Again, there is nothing, I think, but some pressure, maybe. Some pressure. Black definitely shouldn't have problems here. Well, the pawn structure is probably not ideal, but it's not a big problem. Not a serious issue, I would say. So now I'm just protecting the pawn on d7. If b5, we always have knight to a5, it's fine. We can also think of just bringing another rook to f8, increasing our pressure on the king side. Yeah, I mean, looks acceptable. And that is what I wanted to do against knight to e4, just knight e5 attacking the queen. And knight e5 on the previous move, just rook takes c5, I suppose. Alright, I take there. G takes f3 is forced. And d5 next move. That's what I wanted to try, or we can play it slowly. We're not in a rush here. We have much better pawn structure now. So knight e5 immediately was not possible because of rook e5. Or maybe it was possible, right? Bishop takes f3. Yeah, maybe it was okay. We can have a look at this option after the game. Now it's interesting to take with the bishop or with the pawn, followed by e4. I think both options are quite interesting. I'll do this one. It's more dynamic and yeah, it gives us an easy win. Yes. Yep. Okay, still going on. That's interesting. All right, so let's have a look at that moment where I played rook to f7 and knight e5 was suggested, but rook takes c5. Come on. No, it was not possible, definitely. Because if queen takes c5, then bishop takes b7, and white is having two minor pieces against the rook, which is the material advantage. And if after rook e5 I take there, then knight takes f3, protecting the rook, so white is just winning here. So knight e5 was not possible. Bishop f3, knight f3, protecting the rook on e5. Okay, so definitely doesn't work. That's why rook f7, just protecting the pawn. Okay. Next one will be just according to the normal order now, and that is crooky. And by the way, our previous game was quite interesting. What I played with black pieces, and now I play with black pieces again. Okay, good. Crooky 1974. It was Ruy Lopez, right? Right. Let's try Philidor this time. No, bishop c4. No Philidor, I guess. Oh my god. Not very ambitious, I think. But still playable. So, I mean, what about this move? Is white going to take on? No. Alright. Doesn't it look like white is just kind of spending time here on not necessarily very useful stuff? It looks like Ruy Lopez now. But with a bunch of, I have no idea, extra tempi for black, something like that. Not sure. Maybe it's just a transposition to the Queen e2 sideline. I have no idea. This way. Okay. Should we react here? Maybe we can just castle. And if takes, rook a8, queen takes b5, we can take on e4. Exchanging that pawn on b5 for the central one. I think, yeah. It's a good idea for us just to ignore the thing for now at least. All right. White is going for it. That's strange to me. All right, I'll just grab on e4 then. I think my position is already better. No? Feels like that. Maybe it's not, I don't know. I just have some tricks here, some interesting ideas like rook takes f3 now, for example. Can I try it? I mean, maybe it's too much, but it's so tempting. I cannot really do anything else, actually, looking at it. So after d5, isn't it that the queen is almost trapped? Only one square on b4 is possible then. Then knight takes c2. Yeah, looks good actually. Maybe simple capture on the third. Maybe knight e2 check is also good. Bishop to g5 is an option. Which one is the best actually? Let's say bishop g5, knight to e4, knight takes f3, or knight e2 and takes on c1, or just bishop takes c1. Everything looks so tempting here. Let's try one of them. So that should be over for white. I mean, Pieces are so misplaced. Check now. Just capturing on c1, right? Or just knight f4, or just knight takes d3. I don't know. I'm lost here. I mean, there are so many options. All of them look good. I hate these positions when I have so many great ways to proceed, really. So, yeah. God damn it. This is just winning, right? Or very close to it. Or maybe not, even. Here it comes b4 or something, then queen takes e6. Which may be annoying, actually. Maybe just overestimated this position, I don't know. Let's see, I have to play a bit passively now, something like this, right? Otherwise, I'm just losing a piece if I go to d7, let's say. If I go to a4, there's rook a1, like, pinning my knight, which is definitely not good. Yeah, now it's kind of... rook a1 is still possible. Wow. Oh, shit. Oh, god damn it. No. Fortunately, my opponent didn't play rook to a1. I suppose that was the most annoying move for me. Maybe I was still fine after something like, I don't know, queen b8 or... yeah, queen b8, something I wanted to try. Yeah, but white is definitely not that bad here. d4, I don't see what is the threat. D takes c5, then just bishop takes. So maybe we can think of, I don't know, a slight activation here. And then knight to d8, controlling some stuff here. That position is indeed quite strange. Probably I was too greedy, actually, winning that additional piece. I don't know. Doesn't feel really satisfying now. Let's just bring the queen over. I think b5 was a mistake. A real one, yeah. White is just collapsing now. Yeah, lucky shot, actually. Yeah, so if king goes to f1, then queen h1 check and takes on a1. Winning the game, yeah. But White was not forced to do that. And obviously this idea with actually going there was probably a wrong one. So knight to e2 was a good idea. But then after king to g2, why didn't I actually take on a d3 here? I have no idea. This looks gorgeous. Like, if queen d3 then knight f4 and takes on d3, if knight goes to e4, knight e4 probably was the reason. But okay, I can still take on c1. It's a bit different thing, right? So now I control stuff, and knight can jump to f4, indeed. The bishop still controls g5 square. Crazy position. Yeah, maybe bishop g5 to start with, but not so good. So my main idea was to play d5, but then I noticed that there was still this b4 square. Just imagine there is no b4 and queen is trapped, literally, because if queen goes to c3, there is knight to e2, and it's over. But queen can go to b4. That's why I didn't play it, after all. Of course, I've seen this option, just continuing, and white has simply terrible pawn structure. No doubt that black is fighting for a win here, I guess. It's clear. So it was far from being clear to me in general. That's why I decided to play bishop to g5. But I think, yeah, in this position, black has more than just sufficient compensation. The pawn structure is so bad, and the pieces are coordinated almost perfectly for black here, while white is still not developed and has some serious problems. Okay, all right. Prom knight is the next one, except interesting game. So in general, I believe that white's problem started right after exchanging this pawn on b5 for on central pawn. So central pawn is no doubts a very important asset, and I guess it makes sense always to keep central pawns if there is a chance to exchange them for the ones on the side. All right. Again, this line. Still believe the white should be better in this ending. But who knows? Last time I didn't achieve anything, absolutely. So let's see how it goes this time. All right, all right, all right, all right. So we're just simplifying stuff and try to prove that our pawn structure is better. Question is if it is really better or it's just an illusion. I don't know. Let us see. Let's take there. Let's play a4. Let's recapture. So we are attacking e5 now. Yeah. This is sort of forced. We have some targets, but again, it's not that much. It's not that much. We have a pawn center. At very least, it is something that prevents the activity of opponent's rooks, because our pawns are kind of closing these files for opponent's rooks, while white still has, for example, f file to operate on, to maybe lift the rooks at some point to other sides of the board. Well, black's rooks are not necessarily that active. All right. But it's hard for white to achieve anything. So if white ever starts pushing these pawns, then, for example, c3, d4, e4 becomes a target for black. So it's better for white just to keep this pawn structure, I think, and to maneuver pieces. Using these pawns as a, I don't know, shield or something. Okay, let's bring another rook over. There may be a threat of playing rook f5 at some point. But of course, c2 should be protected to make that a real threat, because if you play rook f5, there is knight to d4, and if rook takes h5, there is knight takes c2, just for example. Of course, after rook f5, there is h4, also an option. So I guess we can try something like this first, just to have c2 protected. Maybe intending knight to f5 as well. And now I guess rook to f5 may be considered something. Just attacking h5 and controlling the fifth rank in general. If g6, we win a pawn. If h4, I think this pawn can be attacked somehow. Maybe not immediately, but yeah, little by little. Maybe I should have blockaded it prior to playing rook f5, I don't know. Maybe something like h4 deserved attention. I think if we play something like rook h5 right now, it will be too risky. No. Probably I missed something. Yeah. Okay, what about a4 now? Just waiting for black's reaction. If there's something like b6, I can play a5. I can try it at least. Just trying to damage black's pawn structure somehow to make it a bit more vulnerable. So searching for weaknesses, in other words. And this is very strange. I can take a pawn, right? Yeah, then I can go to e2, but I'm not sure it's that dangerous. That was probably a serious blunder. Or maybe I missed something terrible, but I don't think so. Yeah, let's just play a5, fixing weaknesses. Everything is under control, it seems. Alright, it's almost a, you know, checkmate like in one of our games, so I have to be really careful now. Probably it's a good idea just to get rid of that knight immediately. Because it's really a source of headache at least. Now I guess e5 is great. Let's just play it. Straightforward. Yeah, I guess it's over. Gravnik student is here. Nice. Thanks for coming. Der Henker, pawn holder. Yeah. Your guys are real fans of chess. That's nice. Okay. Let's take there. I mean, can't be good, right? Can't be good for black. Let's see. What can we do? What can we do though? Let's just play this move. So we have 2 extra pawns now. The only problem here is that our king is a bit passive, but we can solve it. And this cannot be good. Come on. That's just the ending with the extra pawn, right? King and pawn ending with the extra pawn. Should be absolutely lost for black. Yeah, it is actually. So let's just bring the king closer. That was my that was very strange conversion actually. Why didn't I play king e3 actually? I don't understand. Now I have serious problems. Oh my god, I'm idiot. Really. I'm just an idiot. d5, b3, d6, b2, d7, b1, d8, queen, king a4. Yeah. Idiot, I am. Without pawn on a6, it would have been winning for white. But there is that pawn, so it's not. My dear lord. This is hilarious. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, how stupid one can be to play like that. I mean, for God's sake. Really. Alright, my opponent is playing for a win. This is good. I mean, it's correct to play for a win in this position, and now it's winning. Oh my god, I'm so fucking idiot. One cannot even imagine how stupid I am, really. Just misplayed it completely. Yeah, I'm resigning here. That's the most idiotic game of mine, really. Panchenko will be so unhappy. My friend, this is just, you know, it's crazy. It's not about Panchenko. It's not about Dvoretsky. It's just about being so stupid. I mean, how one can lose such a game? Well, first of all, just give it perpetual, right? Why would... Well, at some point I thought, okay, I may try to play for time or something like this. That's crazy. The stupidest thing was here. So like after c5, why king f3? Just play this move, my friend. And it's so winning. I mean, you don't have to be like Kasparov to understand that. You don't have even to be an international master. You don't have to be candidate master. Just the Patzer chess. Just play king e3, preventing king d4. And that's it. Oh, shit. Ah, fuck. All right. Nevertheless, thanks for the game. Let us continue. Shit happens. Yep. John Tadros is my next opponent, playing with black pieces. Maybe king d4, king c5, which actually is too slow. Maybe immediate d4. King takes a5, d5 was correct. But then king b6, now king is within the square of the pawn. Yeah, there was no chance for me except for this king d4, king c5 after I missed this king d4. Maybe instead of playing king e2, king g4 immediately was correct. Let's see. King d3, king takes g5. King c4, king h4, king b4. Yeah, of course. g4, and I should be much faster than my opponent. Oh, god damn it. Stupid Andrey. It was so winning. Even after I missed that king d4, I think just king g4 and wins, right? If I'm not missing something, because... Okay. Yeah. Can just prevent d4 if white doesn't want to play it. What about just bishop d7 now? Okay. So it's like we no longer have doubled pawns, which is usually a bad thing for black. Here though, everything is fine, right? So let's have a look where we can go. We can go to b6. It's absolutely valid square, I would say. We can also go to g6, which is typical here. But I'm not sure that it is still that important to have a queen here. But now look, there are some targets. So first of all, h3 is always a problem for white. There is another problem in the form of bishop c6 at some point. Just attacking that knight on f3, because normally there is a pawn on c6 which prevents black from going there. Black's bishop, I mean. Here it's different, right? So the first question is, can I just take on h3 now? And that goes to h4, something like queen g5. Looks absolutely fine, so. Or maybe queen g4 then. Queen takes, bishop takes. That should be okay. Let's just grab it. Let's just take it. Let's just take it. Like this. Knight e4 can be tricky because I cannot take the knight on h4. There is knight f6 and stuff. But hey, I can just castle, right? Right now we have what? We have extra pawn, no problems with the pawn structure. Yeah, it's lost for white. But, you know what? Taking into account how I played my previous game, it's absolutely fine for white to keep on playing and probably there will be even the chance to win. Not only to survive it, so I think. Crazy. Crazy stuff. h6 just prevented knight g5. I think that was the idea behind knight f3, to bring the knight to g5, attacking something in my camp. So we're just playing to prevent opponents' resources completely here. I can take on f3 here. I can consider that move, just damaging the pawn structure. Well, I think I will do it. Why not? So now we have the ending with knights, and I think the fact I'm having this passer on the h file is a very important thing, because knights hate it usually. So what I have to do here is just to exchange everything, maybe except for knights, because white will try to keep those on the board, then centralize my king and win the game. And if the knights are being exchanged, I have to try to win the king and pawn ending with the extra pawn, right? To improve my results compared to the previous game. Because it's pathetic not to win the king and pawn ending with the extra pawn. My holy crap. Okay, b6 preventing knight to c5 and intending to bring my king to b7. Yeah, that's the thing. Slightly improving the position of the king. b4. Okay. That's why I played b6, not to actually miss this knight to c5 stuff. Well, now a5 is coming, but b4 is hard to protect, right? So I can play something like this. Rook may go to b1, actually. Okay, in this case I will just grab it, right? Should be fine. 2 extra pawns now. I can still lose it. If rook takes c5, there is rook to a1 winning, right? And bc5 is also winning. Okay, so c5 is absolutely valid choice now. So we have 1 passer on the king side and 2 connected passers on the queen side. If I lose this game, or not win this game, then I don't know. Will be a good reason to quit chess, I think. Just completely and immediately. Alright, let's take that pawn. So how many now? Like 3 or something? Yeah. White should still play it on. All right, knight to d4 maybe, winning one more. So pawn holder says, Andrey, we're in excellent shape. One period, maybe you have some other smarter stuff instead of chess, for example, kids. Absolutely right. That's the one thing. And I also have a regular job now, so literally no time for chess. For, you know, self-improvement and even keeping the current shape under control. So now it's important not to miss this knight to c4, right? So for that reason, I'm just going away. Andrey, honestly, are you enjoying the regular job? Yeah, I do. I do. I actually decided to become a web developer just because it was my other passion. And I was always like, you know, doing that for pleasure from time to time. And then I thought like, maybe I can do it for, you know, for making a living. And, well, it works out somehow. No, I'm happy with that job. It's hard for now because I'm still like a junior and I'm progressing, trying to progress. I mean, I'm far from being a great like programmer, a great developer, but nevertheless, it's probably the most interesting part, the most interesting period right now. So, what's going on here? I have no idea. Let's just bring the king there. I have too many other pawns, right, to keep that one alive. Alright, so let's just keep on going there. E4 is controlled, that's important. So we can play something like that, and F1 is unstoppable, I believe. Okay, so I think it's not a great idea to play H3 in that position. So as you can see, I can stop white from playing D4, and in this case, black achieves exactly what black wants. So exchange of doubled pawns, which means now black has no this typical problem of Relopez exchange and has no problems with finding active squares for pieces, especially for bishops here, I guess. So let's have a look what's going on here. Is a very active discussion. All right. Let's have a look. Yeah. All right, so pawn holder is the next opponent. And now we have to pull it together, try to play a good game. So I'm playing with white. Okay, Sicilian. Obviously, pawn holder plays literally everything, so you never know what to expect. So now we have sort of Sozin, but not quite. So in this line, white is playing slightly more positional stuff. Okay, let's castle. Bishop a2. And just a 4. Not sure that 95 was that great, actually, but who am I to judge? So the thing is, I wanted to play f4 and f5, that's the idea of this opening, to clear the a2 g8 diagonal for the light square bishop. So 95 slightly helps. At the same time, right now I don't think I have anything specific to prove it was a mistake or something. Queen b6, that is very interesting. So the knight is under attack. If I play bishop e3, there is knight to g4, as far as I understand. Okay. Of course, I can just protect the knight with the help of something like rook to d1, but it's a bit odd. If I play something like a5 now, another question. Queen takes d4, bishop to e3, attacking queen. Then queen has to go to b4, In which case I can take on e5, then d takes e5, and I achieve nothing there. The queen on b4 is not so bad, to be honest. Yeah, so this doesn't work. What can potentially work is... I'll just rook d1, right? Let's just play that. If queen b2 is possible here, I will be terribly surprised. Shouldn't be a good idea, but maybe it's okay. The queen should be somehow, you know, trapped there or something close to that. Now let's see. Knight takes c6, b takes c6 doesn't give me what I want because I play queen c4, then queen can go to b7. So maybe queen c4 should be played right now. Then what? Then there is this red of trap in the queen somehow. Let's... But then queen can go to b6, knight to f5. Yeah, that's interesting at first. Let's try it. Maybe something simple like queen to d2 was a better way to play it. I don't know. Just want to control some additional stuff here. Maybe it's not correct. Maybe it's not correct. After queen b4, I think I still can do something like queen to d3. Okay, I'm still quite annoying for black. Let's see. Queen b4, knight c6, queen c4, bishop c4, b takes c6 is obviously good for black. So after queen b4, I should just go away. The queen is still vulnerable there. But as I said, maybe queen d3 immediately was the right way to play it. But then knight b4 and knight takes a2. Crazy shit here. Like, I don't know if I'm going to survive it even. Knight to g4. Very strong, probably. Oh, god damn it. What's going on here? Terrible stuff. Hard to believe, but maybe it's the beginning of the end for white here. Alright, I think I have nothing better than this. Anyway. And if bishop takes e6, then queen goes to c5. That's a problem. Well, just a bad position. No compensation whatsoever, I guess. Yeah. Hard. And e5 is coming as well. God damn it. Yeah, black is just winning here. Black is just winning here now. So I don't think black can take on f5. Well, it's possible, but then queen c5 takes on f5, and b7 is heading. There's some pressure in e5, pulsing colored bishops after all. So we shouldn't forget I'm just one pawn down here. So it's not that terrible, I mean. So I guess queen takes c3 should be played. But maybe pawn holder will find something, yeah, more interesting, like d5. Crazy. Like every move is something. Nice, let's say. Yeah. Surprising me on every move. Really hard. This game is crazy. Let's just go away. "38 seconds. Oh my shit. Why didn't I take on d5? Because of bishop f5 forced my queen to take on c5 and bishop c5 check. That's why I played king f1, just to avoid that check. Everything is handy now. Okay, let's take there. We're still kind of, sort of, holding here. At least it's not completely lost, I mean. But it's very close to. Alright, my blocks in pieces. Trying to bring them to active positions at least. Another one. Let's see what's going on here. Trying to be active. Oh, it's 13 seconds, it's not that much. Knight to e6 was possible one move ago. Shit. That's bad. Alright, this position is was already winning for, sorry. Yeah, was winning for white, but I lost on time. Alright, so it was just a time trouble nightmare, alright. Yeah, but to be honest, this one is no longer looking that terrible for white. So I would say that here white is, well, quite okay. So having some activity. All right, and yeah, actually holding. So, but at the very beginning, was it really that simple for black to escape? Maybe queen c4 was a bad idea. On the other hand, what's the play here? Maybe knight takes c6, I don't know. B takes c6 and something like this? Maybe that was the right way for me to play, but what is the threat then? I don't see a threat, that's the problem. So queen can simply go away. And then what? Something like rook to b1, queen to c7 and e5. Maybe that one, that way. I don't know. Something like that. Or some initiative, right? And then f5 and stuff. Don't know. Looks like a pub game, but nevertheless, thanks for this experience. All right, next one. Harsh episode this time. Just losing a lot. How many? 3 games already. Wow. The one on time at the very beginning, an absolutely winning position. Then absolutely winning position, but misplaying it like an idiot against prom night. And now against pawn holder. Yeah, crazy game. But I was actually the defendant side here, so it's okay. Okay. I'm not sure that taking on c6 is a good idea for white in general. But yeah, it's absolutely playable. Let's just bring the bishop there. The idea is just to undermine the c5 at the right moment with the f6, and now since we have pair of bishops, I think it becomes even more important to do something like that. Just going away. I mean, I would be happy to see something like g4. It will make white's position much more vulnerable and will give me much better chances to achieve anything. So I'm fine with this. Now we have some perspectives on light squares. What about just taking on c3 first? And then taking on e5. Isn't it bad for white? Like automatically? Too many weaknesses, in my opinion. So if white doesn't take on e5, I'm just a pawn up. If d takes e5, I take on e3, then queen g5, attacking e5, e3, or maybe queen h4, maybe queen g5 first, forcing something like queen g5, and then queen h. I have no idea. Maybe d takes e5 was worth doing anyway. Because now should be just a pawn up, right? Yep, just a pawn up, and white still has some serious problems here. This way. So light squares, we should be careful. We should be careful. You know, we should just keep everything on light squares. I think we control them in a very good way. So bishop to c7 should be played, I guess, because that bishop is quite annoying. And maybe a4 was nothing. Maybe something like queen c2 deserved attention, attacking g6. And yeah. Bishop takes e5. Let's just simplify stuff. If f takes e5, then position of white's king becomes vulnerable, and we get some interesting chances against this e5 pawn as well, because I don't believe it's a power, it's more like a weakness to me. So we should blockade it first and then attack. a5. Okay, what's going on here? Just rook to b8, I guess, to create some threats, like rook to b2 maybe. Maybe queen h4 and then rook to b2. Can be also an interesting idea, I suppose. Now I can take with the queen. Let's have a look. Queen takes f8. We control both open files. Queen takes a7, then queen f4 check, and then rook to b2. Yeah, this should be very good. Or maybe rook b2 first. I don't know. We'll see, but I like the fact that we control two, well, important open files here. Maybe we cannot really, yeah, use it. But for now, looks satisfying. Who knows, maybe it's nothing at all. Okay, so let's bring the queen to f1. For some reason, I think it's a good idea. And now queen to e1. Exerting pressure on e5. I told you it was a weakness. So now I'm starting the attack against it. The most annoying form of attack from behind. What to do now? I think I can even play rook e8 now. And if queen f7, then king h7, and if it takes on e8, then I take on f2 with check. But is it a good idea for me? I can then grab the pawn on c3, but that one on e file will be super annoying. If I play immediate king to h7, then there is queen g3. So maybe rook b1 should be played right now. Yeah, let's try it. Yeah, check on f7 or f8, I just hide. On h7, it's not that dangerous for me. Yeah, but anyway, position is still unclear. If king goes to g3 though, I can take on c3 with the tempo. Yeah, maybe we're still better here. Right now, I just want to checkmate my opponent in the next move. Okay, so there's still this threat on g1. I don't know how queen f7 and queen f4 helps, actually. All right, my opponent just missed that, I suppose. All right. But nevertheless, what happened here? Well, I just made too many weaknesses. Maybe d takes c5, which was a good idea, though. So yeah, I can take on the e3 here. And then I thought I would easily win a pawn, but maybe it's not the case here. Yeah, if I play queen h4, though, I think I'm very close to winning a pawn here, because h3 is hanging, but on the other hand, okay, king g2, so what? If I play queen to g5, then queen goes to d3. Oh, sorry, d4, of course. Protecting both. So I was not sure if I would be like super successful here, but of course long term it should work somehow. So something like rook e8, simply winning this e5 pawn, and then this e3 is terrible. Should be still much better for black, right? Yeah. So I don't know. Making too many weaknesses. I don't think that taking on c6 is a good idea to start with. Something like h3 should be played, and knight to c3, just trying to keep that bishop on the board. So this bishop c6 should be played only if white has a concrete play against c6 pawn on the c file, but it's not the case at so early stage, I think. All right. Okay. Let's continue. What's going on? What's going on? Zurin, accept. Oh my god. So something closed. I have a feeling I'm playing too many games with black tonight. Yeah, but who cares? The problem is that I'm playing like an idiot. That's the main reason I'm losing so many games. Please play pawn holder, says Thomas. Well, we have already played and I lost in a super crazy game. So, you missed that. Yeah, I'm just playing a5. Preventing b4. Okay, let me remember. Bishop can go to e6 as far as I remember. And if knight g5, then bishop g4. And then h6 or something like this. Yeah, so... So I mean, knight on g5 is not for a long time here. And h6 is anyway a useful move for black, so feels like we can make that move with the tempo now. Well, pretty much. And queen can go here, protecting b7. Also control an h3 square. So if white plays h3 now, I just go back to d7 with the bishop, and then h3 will be hanging. I mean, looks good. Just h6 now. Bishop e6 back attacking the queen, and controlling c4 square. Preventing knight to c4, I mean. And the next maneuver should be somehow connected with knight e7, knight c5, I guess. Wow, queen there. Didn't expect that move. Maybe it's a good idea for white, I don't know. The knight is coming to c4 supposedly at some point. Maybe not, let's see. Knight d7 protecting e5 now. If knight to c4, that queen might be quite vulnerable. Maybe knight to a7 wins a piece on c4 even. Yeah, I think. Now I guess we can play knight to b6, although normally I would put my knight on c5. Here I, for some reason, want to prevent this knight to c4 move. On the other hand, knight to c5 is still looking great, controlling light squares. But then knight goes to c4. Can they really use those light squares? I'm not sure. Yeah, let's play knight to b6. I mean, it's probably not the best move here, but I guess it's not the worst for sure. So black is controlling stuff, I guess. Rook to d8 is coming, then we should think of improving the other pieces. White is having some problems with completing a development, because whenever the knight d2 goes away somewhere, we can use the weakness of light squares with our bishop. Now after b3 it's hard for white to move the knight even. So what to do? Let's just bring the rook to d8 as it was planned. If knight moves, we can grab a pawn, right? Oh, wow. Is it really playable? It damages the pawn structure so seriously. I mean, hard to believe it's a good idea. Hard to believe. Well, should be a pawn up very soon, I guess. Or I don't know. We'll just have very comfortable position at the very, very least. Another idea behind queen c8, by the way. To bring the queen to a6. There are many good ideas, of course. So now, doubling the rooks along the d file is the one idea. What's else? Like knight b8, knight d7, knight c5 can be another one. I don't know which one to choose. Let's try this one, although it looks a bit slow, but I think it should be okay. Yeah. f4 is correct. Otherwise, white doesn't have counterplay. So, should be played. The idea was just to keep diagonal h1, a8 closed. Alright, but now here comes this bunch of tricks based on queen g6 and bishop h6. So we should be extremely careful now. Probably we can't just protect the bishop on e6 with the queen c8, but then queen e5, bishop f6, queen somewhere, bishop takes c3 is possible, but then that bishop becomes active. Is it really a big problem for us? I mean, this bishop to h6, it may be, yeah. Maybe a serious stuff here. Did I underestimate that? The whole thing, I mean. This well may be the case. Yeah, let's just develop our pieces. That's why I thought this knight b8 may be really bad idea. Bishop takes h6 is coming. So what I wanted to try there, okay. Well, I decided not to play that. That's a bit strange to me. Now I think I can get rid of that queen. And now I can do what? Just take there, right? Hurrying up to e6 square, yeah. So the worst thing is prevented, I think. I guess I'm really doing well now. Just queen e6. All right. Now queen takes c7 then. Okay, let's just bring the bishop here. And now, something like that. That's playable. Risky, but playable. Okay. Just blockading the pawn e4 again, I think, wins the game instantly. Yeah. Check first. And then takes there. And just, I don't know, something like this. Should be over. 30 seconds on the clock, that's the only issue. That's the only issue. Oh, that's why I gave that check, by the way. On d4. All right. Yeah, I was lucky. There was this crazy moment after queen h5. So there was a suggestion of... the plan after e5 was just to take on e5. So let's quickly look at that position. I think after queen to c3. After e5, I wanted to take with the queen here. I think that was the question from Kramnik student exactly about this moment. Attacking the queen, and if queen takes, then bishop takes. Attacking the rook on a1. That was the plan. All right. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, bishop f7 here. Why white cannot take there? Question. There was a comment that queen e5 is not possible, but I think it's possible here. What's the problem with the queen e5? So there, then it takes. And then 4 is possible to step back if necessary. Yeah, so what else? Takes there. Played knight d7, so bishop h6 was probably the most interesting continuation here. What I wanted to try was just to play this move, I think. Queen there, and then bishop f8 protecting g7 with the idea of bishop f7 at very least. That's what I wanted to try here. So after something like that, I can play this move. And then I can try, for example, knight to h7. I can also try taken on d2, but probably doesn't work. So rook to d6 comes to mind as well. So maybe tricky with that bishop on h6. I mean, it's sort of trapped. But it deserved attention anyway, I guess. Bishop d6 after queen e5. Okay, let's have a look. Bishop there, queen there. Okay, but I don't have to go to d4 first of all, although even queen d4 is possible because the rook is hanging. So the only discover attack which is possible here is to play, okay, knight c6 can be played. All right, but I don't have to go there, so I have this square, which is absolutely valid. Queen f5, and it's absolutely unclear, so I lost the pawn on e5, and e5 is coming now. So what I wanted to do is just to keep the blockade of this diagonal h1, a8. All right, okay. Nevertheless, let's play the last game. And yeah. Keys are super active still. But I hope it's already a question of 10 minutes before they go to the, you know, place where Marfus is kind of main guy. And then there will be a bit of time for grown man life after hard work and streaming and stuff. All right, come on, Arthas, are you going to play? No. Okay, I think it's over. All right, guys, thanks a lot for being with me. This coming Saturday there will be a rescheduled version of Training Tuesday. Not sure that this pattern will be there for next week's, but for now it feels like it's easier for me to stream at least one show on the weekend. So probably we'll again switch back to, you know, this weekend streaming, at least for one of the shows. We'll see. I'm not sure yet, but this coming Saturday there will be definitely an episode. So you're welcome if you are a premium user, of course, because this show is only open for premium users. Wish you all the best, guys, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.